Just after 6 in the morning on 7 February 2026, a GPS collar transmitted a signal from the mountains north of Santa Clarita. The animal wearing that collar was a 3-year-old female gray wolf known as Bey03F. She had been born in 2023 in the Beyem Seyo pack in Plumas County, far to the north. Over the previous year, she had walked more than 370 miles, crossing mountain ranges, desert basins, and multiple highways. When the collar pinged inside Los Angeles County, it marked the first verified presence of a gray wolf in the region in nearly a century. No one living in the county had ever seen one. Gray wolves were eliminated from California by the mid-1920s. The last confirmed killing of a wild wolf in the state occurred in Lassen County on 12 June 1924, when a federal trapper named Frank W. Cooler shot the animal. Systematic campaigns of poisoning, trapping, and shooting had already removed the species from most of its historic range in the West. By the time California's last known wolf fell, the animal had been absent from the southern half of the state for decades. For the next 87 years, the official record was simple. There were no wolves in California. That changed on 28 December 2011, when a dispersing male from Oregon, designated or 7, crossed the state line into Siskiyou County. His arrival was the first verified presence of a wild gray wolf in California since 1924. Over the following years, additional dispersers followed. The first pack, the Shasta Pack, formed in 2015. By the end of 2025, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife counted a minimum of 55 wolves living in 9 packs, almost all of them still concentrated in the northern third of the state. Southern California remained outside the documented range. No confirmed wolf had been recorded in Los Angeles County in modern times. The official maps stopped hundreds of miles to the north. Then Bey03F walked in. The evidence for her presence is not anecdotal. It is electronic and continuous. Bey03F was captured and fitted with a GPS collar in May 2025 while associating with the Yolumni Pack in Tulare County. From that point forward, her location was recorded multiple times each day. The collar data show her moving steadily south through the Sierra Nevada and into the southern Central Valley. On the morning of 7 February 2026, the signal placed her inside the northwestern corner of Los Angeles County, near the settlement of Neenach and the mountains north of Santa Clarita. Remote cameras had already documented her earlier movements. One sequence from April 2025 shows her walking through Tulare County. Another from January 2026 captures her again in the same region before she continued south. The combination of collar pings and camera images leaves little room for doubt about the identity of the animal. Her journey was not without precedent in scale. Individual wolves are known to travel extraordinary distances during dispersal. OR7 had covered more than 1,000 miles after leaving Oregon. Other California wolves have crossed state lines in both directions. What made Bey03F's movement historic was not the distance itself, but the destination. No verified wolf had reached Los Angeles County in the modern era. After a brief stay, she turned north again. By 9 February, the collar showed her back in Kern County, east of Lebec. In the months that followed, she continued to range through the southern Sierra, eventually entering Sequoia National Park, another first in more than a century. The pattern is consistent with a young dispersing female searching for a mate and suitable territory. She has not yet found either. The official count of California wolves continues to rise slowly. New packs have been confirmed in Plumas, Lassen, and other northern counties. At the same time, conflict with livestock has intensified. In 2025, the Beyem Seyo pack, the same group into which Bey03F was born, was responsible for a disproportionate number of cattle deaths. State officials ultimately euthanized 4 members of that pack, the first lethal control action against wolves in modern California history. The expansion is real. The resistance is also real. Gray wolves are highly mobile animals whose social structure is built around the pack. When young adults reach sexual maturity, they often leave their natal group in search of unrelated mates and unoccupied territory. This dispersal behavior is the primary mechanism by which wolf populations recolonize vacant range. California's landscape still contains large blocks of suitable habitat. The Sierra Nevada, the Cascades, and portions of the coastal ranges offer prey, cover, and relatively low human density. Habitat suitability models have long indicated that the state could support several hundred wolves if connectivity and human tolerance allowed. The limiting factors have been the long absence of a source population and the dense network of highways and development that now fragment the southern half of the state. BEY-03F's arrival in Los Angeles County tests both of those limits. The San Gabriel Mountains and the Tehachapi Range still hold mule deer and other prey. They also contain freeways, suburbs, and a human population measured in the millions. A lone wolf can pass through such a landscape. Establishing a breeding pair is a different proposition. The deeper question is not whether a single animal can walk into Los Angeles County. It is whether the institutional and cultural systems that once erased the species are prepared for its return. Wolves were removed because they conflicted with livestock and with a particular vision of the landscape. Their reappearance forces those conflicts back into the open. There is also a quieter biological truth. Apex predators do not require permission to move. They follow prey, avoid high mortality risk when they can, and test the edges of their range. Human maps and management plans are attempts to keep pace with that movement. They do not direct it. BEY-03F has already left Los Angeles County. Her caller continues to transmit from further north. Whether she finds a mate, whether another wolf follows the same corridor, and whether a pack ever forms in the southern Sierra remain open questions. What is no longer open is the fact of her presence. For one morning in February 2026, a gray wolf stood inside the most populous county in the United States, the first in nearly 100 years. The official record has been updated. The land had already moved on.